Hi, and welcome to day 2 of our PumpPanda MemeCoin challenge. Today we want to take a closer look, specifically the platforms. Yesterday I already gave a rough overview. Today I'm going to show you a bit more about some platforms. How do you find MemeCoin, and how can you exactly analyze it with these platforms? Exactly. And yes, I'm jumping right in. And let's go. Directly to the first platform here. This is Pump.fun. This is basically the most well-known platform on Solana where new coins are launched. And just like that, there are already quite a few here. Coins, new ones are always coming in. How does this platform work? You have a logo here, sometimes even a GIF. Like now, this girl. So that's basically the GIF, a moving image. So here it is. Okay, when was it created? For 9 hours, the market cap. Exactly, and then there's sometimes a text accompanying it. So you can scroll through here a bit, click on a few coins to get a bit of a feel. Then you can also up here filter a bit more precisely. If you go to advanced here, you can set certain filters. For example, I just took, for example, here, okay, I would like a market capitalization of at least $20,000. That means there are already a few investors. I also said here, I want to have at least 20 investors. The coins, when they launch new on Pump.fun, they always have around 6,000. Market cap, so if I say 20,000, then the price has definitely gone up a bit. There's definitely some interest. Because of the sheer number of new coins, new ones are coming in every few seconds. That means you have to filter somehow, otherwise it's just too much. Then I'll say here 25,000. Trading volume, so buying and selling. You can also play around with the filters a bit. I'm not saying that these are good filters. That's just simply an example. That this is not now. Completely new coins, but it could be that it was created just a few seconds ago, but it has already gotten a few investors right away. Take it, then filter here. And then we can already see these filtered coins here. How do you buy them now? I'm not showing today. We'll take a look at that another day. And yes, you can, when you go to such a coin, then get more info. I'll also say something about this. What's this mean? About to graduate? Let's go to this coin here, the one over there. Matthew. Man arrested for farting. Okay, so just a man who was arrested for farting. Okay. So, MemeCoin is kind of funny again. So generally 1. A good indicator 2, if you're looking for and analyzing a classic meme coin without utility, is a very good sign. Searches and analyzed is a very good sign. If you have to laugh about it yourself, just by seeing or finding it there, because the likelihood is high that there are other people too, who find it funny and might invest because of that. So for example, you can see here, the chart, we can make this even smaller to a 1-minute chart. We can see that it's already going up a bit. Good sign. Here's the burning curve progress, 65%. What is this? So with Pump.fun, these coins are launched, and when these coins reach a certain market cap, that is a certain market capitalization, it's usually 88,000, a little more dollars, then the Pump.fun platform creates a liquidity pool on Radium, where the coin can then be traded. How you can trade on Radium with the Phantom wallet, that see it on another day. It's important. When a coin then gets launched by Pump.fun, reaches this market cap and then makes it onto Radium and gets a liquidity pool there, that's basically the next step. Yes, I'll say a coin that really skyrockets, somehow with 100x. It has to reach this here sooner or later. At least for now, this 88,000 reach. I'm very happy to have been here. And when a coin comes to Radium, Then you can also find this coin on the platform DexScreener. I'll show that in a moment. That means these coins that we saw above, which we have here in the market, 74,000. These are basically coins that are very close. Then to come to Radium and take the next step. Then we see the holder analysis down here. You can see it right here. Is updating here. Two things about that. The top holder here with 58%, that's essentially always the bonding curve of Pump.fun. So that means you can basically ignore this here. What's interesting is from the second holder onwards. And you could say a good guideline is there shouldn't be any holder here. No investor who has more than 4%. This is true here. The case here, someone has more than 4%, that's not good. As I said, these are always just indicators. That doesn't mean that the coin can't theoretically still skyrocket. But I would say that this is already a good guideline, that there shouldn't be any who holds more than 4%. So then you also see people here who are leaving comments, but I can just ignore those. That usually never bothers me either. So now let's take a coin from the PumpPanda signals. Let's just put the PumpPanda call group in here. Let's take a look here. What was the last slow cap signal here? That was of course a little while ago. The last signal here was from an hour and a half ago. But anyway, let's take a look at it anyway. Maybe a brief explanation of what this signal says. So we have a market capitalization of 47,000. The coin was 4 minutes old at the time the signal came and had 136 investors at that point. We have the top 10 investors and the top 20 investors. And how much do they hold? So what is a good guideline here? Again, everything here is just indicators. There are always outliers and a coin can still skyrocket, even if what I'm telling you now may not apply. And maybe you'll also find, okay, some indicators that I give you, yes, if you adjust them a bit, they'll work better for you. So you can also do a bit of analysis for yourselves and see what you find out and what works for you. So as I said, for me, a general guideline, I'd say the top 10 should ideally be under 20%, but should no more than 25 for the top 20, that's about double, so ideally under 40%. But if they really have more than half, not so good. When a developer typically sells, I usually ignore that because that can still happen at this early stage that he buys afterwards. But if he has already sold, that's always a good signal. The developer who created the coin has a certain percentage, and if he has already sold, then that's a good sign. Because then he can't just sell his percentage directly, all at once, driving the price down. Exactly, let's take this token here. Let's copy that. Then we could also take a look at PumpPlano, for example. So now I need to go into another one. If I have the link up top, then we can look at Pump.fun. /coin, and I'll just put this contract address here. Then I have this coin which came up as a signal. You can see back to the curve. We can see the two things quickly now. The bonding curve is already at 100%. That means this coin already had a market cap of over 88,000. And has it already made it to Radium? Now its market cap is 20,000. That means we're already a bit late to the party. The coin has already taken off a bit and has now fallen in price again. Now, we can also take a look here. The last 15 minutes, it's a bit slow then. Okay, we're doing 1 minute now. Here the coin went up, and that was probably around here when it was then listed on Radium. Was listed and went down sharply after the listing on Radium. Strongly down and then just hovering. Now down here, this is not a coin I would buy. In general, most coins always have a run-up. And when this run is over, as you might expect, it's often concluded. Not always, but often. Exactly. So you can do that here, for example. A coin like that is definitely more interesting when the signal just comes in fresh. I don't have a current example, but now let's go to DexScreener and take a look there. I'm copying the contract address too. In general, when you enter a coin here, you should always just check that this is the first one. So we see here, okay, the S for Solana, then this R for Radium. That's already important. And then you see the market cap and the liquidity. I'm trying another coin now. UFD, Unicorn Fart Dust. By the way, here's a little story about that unicorn. Fart Dust. This is a coin that was created by this gentleman indeed. I believe his name is Rob. He said he only believes in gold and silver and thinks crypto is a scam. And I'm just going to create a meme coin here and show you that it's just crap, and I'm experimenting a bit with it. And yes, indeed, he named his coin Unicorn Fart. In German, that the unicorn farts dust. And the coin then completely took off because on one hand it was kind of funny, and on the other hand, people also wanted to prove him wrong. Hey, crypto isn't a scam. Look, you can make a ton of money with this. And then it completely took off. And what I wanted to show you here, but if you search for this coin, for example, now in the other example, there you can see, oh, look here, Unicorn Far Dust. So that's the UFT abbreviation. There are quite a few of those. And you need to be a bit careful when you're looking at a coin like that. It's already a bit bigger, so if it's a completely new coin, is it? Usually not the case yet, but if it's already a bit bigger, you often have a lot of them, and there are also some scams involved. You can see here, okay, here's the original up top. This is the market capitalization and a liquidity of 3.8 million. Whereas this other one here, only a liquidity of 225,000. It could be that this is a scam. So you should always just take the top one that has the highest liquidity, where you can make sure that this is the original and you don't end up with a scam somewhere. For example, down here, this one that is also Radium. It's always the same market cap, but it has much smaller liquidity. He probably just created someone who just has a lot of money. And yes, if he invests in it, your money is gone. We definitely don't want that. That means always make sure to take the top one when we check that it also isn't. It has the highest liquidity. Exactly. Yes, where do we continue? Here's another platform, just taking a quick step back in this context. Pump.fun. I still think it's cool. I recently had this platform directly. That's basically what I showed you at Pump.fun. With these filters that you can set, here there are already some pre-made filters. For example, here there are now brand new coins. Here we have recently graduated, so they just made it to Radium. Are there coins here that are on Radium, but have gained a bit in market cap after Radium gained more investors? I find them quite interesting, always. And down here you see similar filters. Here from 20,000 did I set a similar filter before? That's why I know exactly coins that aren't completely new on Pump.fun, but have already attracted a few investors. That's good. You can of course assume that you're looking at this website. There are others who are looking at this website too. That means, just by the fact that many people see the same information, the likelihood is high that a certain number of people invest in these same coins, which then drives the price up. That means for a website like this right here, or the filters at Pump.fun Direct, that it's a good thing. That way you're already filtering out some of the chaff. You could say it's from wheat. And as I said, there are always several thousand coins coming in every day and new ones every second. You have to filter a bit somehow. Otherwise, no way. Exactly. Now let's take a look. Yes, maybe here. 2 things about the strategy. But I'll go into a bit more detail on other days. So with these really small coins that you see at Pump.fun, generally, when they are still small here, maybe 2 more points. So you either want to, in this case, not because it's already dropped again, but let's say this is a new coin here that has a small market cap. That means you either want to jump in really quickly and then take your profits just as fast, namely before the coin reaches 100% here and goes after radium. Why? The thing is, as you may know, it frequently happens that when this coin makes it to radium, it's also found on DexScreener. Loses the 1 out of 10 coins, 90% lose their value. That means you either want to jump in when the coin makes it to radium, even before that already. Ideally, at least secure some profits. So later on, which in 8 out of 10 cases completely drops again, that doesn't mean you can't leave something in there. For example, if you have it earlier, where you are at 20,000 invested, and if you maybe double at 40,000, get your investment out first. And if you then continue to rise and go after radium, at least you'll have your investment, even if it completely drops again afterwards. But you can take profits, but we'll take a closer look at the strategies for profit taking another day. That was just a quick mention here. Yes, then let's take a closer look at the platform on DexScreener. How do you analyze a coin here? Yes, that's a bit tricky too. I'll literally take a coin here that has a few Panda signals. Let's take this one here for DexScreener. Of course, it's interesting if it's a coin that is already a bit bigger and going up. Otherwise, you can't find it there at all. Let's go into the VIP group and see the signals. And see what signals be. Signals for whale. So the golden bamboo calls these are basically the calls that are being actively traded by people with a lot of money. Elections, so people with a lot of money are currently being actively traded. So that means if we get one like this here, that was already 2 hours ago. So that's with me. At the time of recording, this signal came in 2 hours ago. And this H term, in the last hour, 18,000, invested by such smart investors. In the last 24 hours, 2.4 million. In the last 7 days, also 2.4 million. So, because it's the same amount, the coin is probably not older than 24 hours and quite fresh. I'm also going to copy the contract address here and take a look at it in DexScreener. Again, exactly the same thing I explained earlier. I find the coin here several times. We want to make sure to have the top one with the radium symbol and the highest liquidity. So we'll take that one. Let's open it. You see here the chart. I'll make a 5-minute chart. It's basically every candlestick that you see. So a green candlestick means it's basically in. This time frame went up in the last minute and then it went down. When the coin is brand new, then 1 to 5 minutes is interesting. Also, 15 minutes. In general, it's always good when you see the complete course. So you can click around a bit. Then here at 15 minutes, I can see the whole thing now, which is good. At 1 hour, well, I think we're now at 15 minutes here. What can we look here? We see the liquidity here. Okay, there's high liquidity. That's good. That's already with a market cap of 18.5 million. This is no longer a small coin. We see the trading volume of 75 million. A good indicator for me personally is always when the trading volume is significantly larger than the market capitalization. So we have 120 million here and 75 here, so almost 4 times the trading volume. That's a good signal. So if this is smaller here, as the market cap it's not quite as good, but it's just an indicator. There are also plenty of examples where this is small, and yet it still goes up. Then another good indicator here is when the trading volume is rather increasing or is basically constant. So if I'm now looking at over 24 hours and I have a total trading volume of 75 million in the last 24 hours, now I'm going to look at the last hour. I have 2.5 million now, which means if I project that over the 24 hours, then I would approximately, I think, roughly come to that amount in total. So roughly speaking, if this, for example, is only in the millions here, let's say as an example in the last hour, then projected over 24 hours, it would only be 24 million. That means the trading volume is already going down again. And that's obviously not ideal when the trading volume decreases. So what else can we look at here? Let's see when the signal came. It probably came at 2 p.m. I think that was in the group. That was then roughly here to this time frame, somewhere around this area. Just a moment, 2 p.m. Exactly, it was roughly here where the signal came. That means we can see shortly after that, if I had bought directly where the signal came, it would have gone up. And then my fear, not super much. In general, these coins, but with these signals from these smart investors, are coins that are already at a higher market cap, so you can take a bit more risk. Exactly, but you also have to... These are not coins that are going to go up 100x. It could be, but these are more like coins where, okay, you might put in a bit more money, but then they usually pull out everything again when the coin has made a 50% profit or maybe even doubled. And do you take everything out or just a certain percentage already taken out? That's not it. Aren't these coins the really small ones, or do they still have this potential along the way? Potential is like, look here at 2 p.m., then okay, there's the signal, let's check it out. If I had invested in this coin, I would have looked at it. What does the curve look like? It went down here after the launch instead of up, and then it's a bit like this. Between 15 million and 25, it moves back and forth. There's something happening here when the coin moves this. It could be good, it could be bad. Basically, there can be two things here that happens. One is the coin is in an accumulation phase. That means there are people here who want fill your pockets with this coin and see that you buy low. Then the price goes up. Sell high to scare people. To scare them, they're selling prices down. Oh, sell quickly. To get out with fear, then these smart investors buy back in and are happy that they can increase their price. When you're happy that you have enough, then you just push the price up. So on the other hand, that can also mean that there is farming happening here. When we say that people are being taken advantage of, it means, for example, these token creators who hold, maybe they created several wallets and hold a large share of the coin across different wallets. They just sell whenever the price goes up and take their profits, and they basically take all the investors' money and do it over and over again. That could also be the case. Maybe it's a mix of both. Well, in general, I think so. I'm a fan of such accumulation phases. And measured by the high trading volume, I would invest in this coin here. Maybe invested in this coin if I had found it directly at this signal. Maybe it's still a good time to invest. Can we take a look at a few more things? Let's stay specifically on this coin again, especially with this example. I think I still have this contract address in the copy paste, but you can also go behind these names here. That's the copy token address. And then I copy it. Oh, I also noticed this here at DexScreener. Here, there's still this lightning symbol. When a coin has a lightning symbol with 100, 500, or 1,000, someone paid for it. Means money has been paid for it. that this coin is displayed higher up. And that's obviously good, because if the coin is displayed higher up, there are more people who would invest in it and find support. So now let's stay here. Now let's take a look. I always like to use Telegram here. Then there's you can find the Trench radar scanner here on Telegram by searching for @TrenchRadarBot. So you can just do it here, /bundle, and provides the contract address. So we're being shown this token here. And then we get some statistics here. Total bundles 3. These bundles have issued a total of 88 SOL and currently hold 1.2%. What are bundles? Bundles are basically a bundle, a package of several like investors, several wallets that are somehow connected. So maybe he has a wallet sent to the other wallet, and the two wallets are investing in the coin, but they are connected. And that's being analyzed there. If there are any connections between these wallets, and here that's obviously very, very little. Here, 1%. That's good. There are other coins. It's always like this here, bundle 20%, and then you know, oh, that basically one person, or well, basically maybe a group of people who created it. Or maybe they were involved a little earlier. They hold 20% of a coin. That's really bad, because if they sell 20% all at once, then the price will obviously plummet. So if you see a really large percentage now, that's bad. In this case, that's good, because here it's only at 1%. That's already a good hint. And yes, here are some more detailed infos about these top bundles. And how much percentage do they hold here? So that's basically still a way. It's also a bit like that, risk hedging. We can maybe take a look at a smaller coin. You can still see that in the lower example. So a very fresh coin from Pump.fun. We brought this one in. So we have to wait. There's actually no bundle here now. But here, it looks different now, for example. The token creator, the creator, has already had 7 other tokens. And out of those, there were 4 dumps. So 4 times he just dumped it on the people and pulled the money out. So yes, I definitely wouldn't invest in a coin like that, because a developer who has already dumped 4 times would probably do it a few more times. That means that's indeed definitely an absolute deal breaker for the investment. Such a coin is uninteresting. Exactly. Maybe here again. DexScreener and a few other things that I like to pay attention to. Can you also take a look at another coin, looking for it? Now I just found something in the way. Down here, up here on DexScreener. You could be in Solana soon here. There you can also see other tokens and various other types of tokens. You can do it. Of course, you can browse around and also filter a bit on the screener to see which trending tokens there are. Let's take a look at the volume to see where the trading volume is. Here we have this HD right at the top, so it seems to be a very interesting pick. And it has already made a lot of percentage gains, but that does not mean that he is not. It can still go further up. And exactly, you can also take a look at other coins. Also, there's a coin that skyrocketed not too long ago. Here is Worms. In this example, I will show you 2 other ways how you can analyze this coin. Example here, indicators. And my 2 favorite indicators are here. ISL, Relative Strength Index, and MACD. I don't want to go into detail about that. What these indicators mean. Feel free to Google that. If you're interested in more details, In general, these indicators are interesting on higher time frames. That means, for example, when we're looking at 4 hours or a day. And that's because, for example, here, this coin is here, this is the MACD and the SA, they are both very far up. That's an indicator that it needs a bit of cooling off, that the coin needs to go down a bit, it needs to cool off, or not necessarily go down, but maybe just needs to stay at the same value. So it's not necessarily a point here where I would invest myself. Of course, sure, it can still skyrocket, but ultimately it's a bit of a game of probabilities. The probability is simply higher with something like this, that it then goes down. From my view, that means I will not be here now. Invest. And exactly, let me give you another coin here that I'm personally watching right now. Interesting coin. It's more of a utility coin now, not a classic meme coin. Here we see, for example, it's a bit different. Okay, I'm also here on the 4-hour chart. Then it's up here again. Then it went down. But it's slowly coming back down. Where you can say, okay, I would say now could be a good time to get back into this coin. Then it went up and has cooled off a bit here. Again, that could be a good opportunity to invest. Ideally, it should also have dropped in the daily chart. Then it has already dropped. But this coin hasn't been around for too long either. We're here at the 21st December. So that's about 2-3 weeks. That means there isn't much in the daily chart yet. You must watch the savings. How old is the coin, and is it a coin? If it's 2 hours old, then the daily or the 4-hour chart might be uninteresting, so you would look at the 5 or 15-minute chart instead. That's something where you can also analyze the coin a bit. Thank you very much. Exactly, then let's take a look at Twitter on. Twitter is also very good. And you can also enter a coin like that on Twitter. How do you do that? You log in, Snyder, and then you enter a token name $, and then Snyder. And then you can see here, you get posts here. You can read a bit about this coin and get a feel for it, okay? What are people saying about it? What kind of attention it's getting? You can see these. It's always good to check out the posts here, okay? This person, I actually follow them here. How many followers does he have if he has a lot of followers? That's a sign, okay? You call them a key opinion leader, so someone who, just by having so many followers, can say, hey, I think this coin is good, I see signals that it's going up. Is of course then, oh, he has so many followers, okay, 100,000 people will probably see here this post, which means an extreme reach, and of course when such people talk about a coin, that's a good thing. Should I just look at which point? There's definitely some self-interest involved with these people, that's for sure. It can definitely be the case that people make posts when it's up here because they want that you purchase it or service so they can sell to you and then take their profits. So you always have to be a bit careful. With these influencers, I'd say not always your health that they care about, they also want to make money. But yeah, you can also get a bit of a feel for it here. I can read a bit about the coin. Get a bit smart about it. Hey, what's the story behind it anyway? Even when you, for example, UFD, when I taste a coin fart. What we see here again a video from this Rob. And then you can get a bit smarter about these coins. Exactly, one more thing. Back to 6 screeners because I forgot about it. Best to look at UFD. Here we have a classic meme coin. Of course, this also applies to these utility coins like this SNI or Swarms. Even more important with classic meme coins are the socials. The socials are then like a website, Twitter. Often there's a Telegram link here, but I can't find it right now, but I can get it here on Twitter. I end up here Twitter. And exactly, then you can see a little bit here. You can read from this coin and get a little smarter. Of course, you can see clearly that if, he already has a lot of followers here on Twitter, this channel or this coin has a lot of posts, that is a good signal that something is happening. Especially when you see, how many people liked, reposted, or commented on this. The higher those numbers are, the more interest there is, of course. Thank you so much. I just don't see a Telegram link. I want to show you that as well. We'll do it then. Right with a bowl. Peanut, the scribble. Also a meme coin. Is the whole story about this coin. You can find the story online to get into Peanut, the scribble. Here, for example, there's a Telegram channel, so I'll click on that, continue to Telegram. Then you can literally go into this channel. So, tap to verify. On verify, it can confirm that I'm a human, so I click yes. Here's this link. Join group. And now I'm here in this Peanut, the scribble, in this group of these meme coins. So then you can also take a look around at some coins. What kind of community is it? Are there people active who are writing there? The more people are involved in MemeCoin, as you can see up here, and the more people are writing here, not just posting prices, but the more people who write about it, the better it is. The more there are people active in the community, and people being active in the community means, of course, that people are writing here. These are probably also people who write about it on Twitter, which helps to draw more attention to this coin. That means it's always a good sign when a coin has an active community. So that's what I've shown. Then let's see, what else can we show? Oh yes, I had one more example with TikTok. Well, I'm not really active on TikTok myself, but maybe you are on TikTok and you can use it to find coins. I've picked out an example of mustard here. There was a coin, I think in November or something. What was it? Called mustard. Let's just assume that, this coin comes as signal, this mustard. And then I look, for example, at that moment on Twitter and type in mustard. Sometimes it doesn't work with the $sign either. By the way, if the name is too long, then you have to search with the hashtag mustard. In that case, it's too long. Hashtag mustard. Exactly, then I see here. Let's go down a bit. Now let's assume I had seen this signal and just researched in November. And then I see here, the edits are already going wide. Must start. Okay, what is that? Okay, here's a TikTok symbol. That's something that's on TikTok. Okay. Then I might take that and enter it on TikTok and check it out on TikTok. Okay, what's going on here? On this mustard. And then I scroll down here and see mustard. Okay, 272,000 views. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, interesting. That could be something that has potential because it simply has a very high reach. That's already got 22,000 people on TikTok have seen that. I don't know exactly how many there were at that time, but that could be interesting. We'll take a closer look. You can also, let's say, find coins this way. So what else can we look at? Take a look at... Exactly, we could still take a look. RugCheck the website. If I have a token like this, always FracCheck XYs, which carefully checks token addresses. Here it says that's good, but intended. The TrenchRadarBot on Telegram said he has already racked a few times. I personally don't use this website here, but you could also play around with it a bit and take a look. Yeah, I think it's a very good point. Just see what works for you. Another platform that is interesting is Nansen. We also use Nansen to filter signals for our VIP group. For example, I also like Nansen. Check here where smart money invests. Here, that's right, it's updated. Let's take a look. You can take a look. Up front here is also very fresh. Here we have more people in this coin. People invest 30 Solana. It also mentions that he launched recently. Okay, that could be an interesting coin. Then I'll just continue with which I had shown at DexScreener and so on. As I said, we already have filters. What does it get into the PumpPanda group about? But feel free to check out the platform and experiment around here. We have multiple tiers. There's also a free one. I don't know if that's included in the free one, but you can take a look. Exactly. Yeah, I think I've shown a whole lot, so let's go through it again. Okay. We have a few Nansen we can find and analyze. Can we have the image if we want to drive the slot pump again, where there are already so many far-flung filters? If you go here, you can directly access this pump, since with this coin, we have DexScreener where you can analyze coins. As I said, coins that have already made it to Radium. Panda group where you can take a look. Then here are the free signals for the low caps. As I said, with these low caps, it is really important or good if you're very quick about it. But yeah, sometimes it's still good to jump in later when this coin is no longer on the Pump.fun, but has made it to Radium. And it has not lost its 90%, but is going back up. Those are also partly interesting coins. That means our Pump.fun group. You can take a look there. We have the Trench here. RadarBot, that's good. Where you can further analyze these bands and also take a look. There is a RugCheck history. And then we have Twitter, where you can check it out. So what's the feedback? What do other people think who might have perhaps looked at this token more closely? It's more interesting then. I'll say Twitter, of course, if the coin is already a bit bigger. So with these brand new coins, you obviously won't find anything yet. On Twitter, because it's brand new, no one can really have written anything about it. TikTok is one way to find tokens, so MemeCoins. And exactly, you can take a look there. What's a bit trendy there? What's the hype? And yes, I think that is one of those good start. And exactly. Then I would say yes, that's it for now with day 2. I think that's it. The video has gotten quite long. Your important task for today: find a coin on either Pump or DexScreener or through the Pump group and analyze this token. For example, take a look at what information is already available about it. posts on Telegram. What does the chart look like? The volume, the liquidity. Is there a community? Is it active? Telegram. That might be a website. Yeah, take a look at what's available there. You analyze a coin and then you can use yours. Share the results in the Panda chat group with the community, and then maybe also get some feedback from the community, what the community thinks about it. And yes, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And then morning, on the third day, we'll look at how to create one Solana wallet. And how do we get money into the Solana wallet? Yes, that's it today. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this, and we'll see each other tomorrow. Bye.